There are right now 6 billion cell phone subscriptions globally out there, and if you do the math of how many people there are, that's almost one for one. 25% of the U.S. is mobile only. I'm sorry, I don't have Canadian stats, but U.S. I'm biased there. So mobile only. So that means they only see the internet through their phone. They don't have a laptop or a desktop. It's pretty surprising how many people that is. And they're not all iPhones either, especially globally. iPhone in the States is pretty popular, and so we're maybe in Canada as well. I'm assuming around here this is BlackBerry country. Go BlackBerry. I've got a Z10. I really do love it. Z10. So how do you say Q10? Quet 10? Samsung, we were in Seoul last year. Samsung, the Note 2. I came back wanting one of those because I saw everybody over there. And then the Windows Phone. And you might laugh, but my kids really want a Windows Phone just for the Xbox part of it. It's really something they want. So even though there's 6 million subscriptions, there are over 10 billion web-enabled mobile phones out there right now. And it's growing. It's just growing constantly. Mobile is still the web, and people expect their mobile experience to work. And so we need to provide developers a way to make that web experience work everywhere. So what is jQuery Mobile? So jQuery Mobile's philosophy is to build one code base for all platforms. So basically the write once, work everywhere sort of mentality. Your experiences on whatever platform will be based on what the platform is capable of doing. We built this for feature phones to work on feature phones as well. They might not have the enhanced experience that comes along with smartphones, but they'll at least get something functional as well. And it's all built on standards. HTML5, CSS3. The languages that you're doing now for desktop is what we're targeting to work on mobile as well. And it's all built on top of jQuery Core, jQuery UI, and everything that our projects already contain. We're just building on top of them. Some of the features of jQuery Mobile: it provides a unified user experience cross-platform. It has accessibility built in so that screen readers can read your site and be interpreted properly. It comes with touch and mouse events and progressive enhancement. So again, back to this feature set of we can provide you an enhanced experience, but it can degrade down to just functional on other phones that don't have those capabilities. And we do that by a graded browser support. So we have 3 grades, 4. There's A grade, which is you get the full experience. You get all the enhancements. You also get the AJAX-based page transitions. Most of the smartphones are in A grade. There's a few exceptions. A B grade device allows you to have the enhanced experience, but might not allow you to do the AJAX navigation features. We target those as B grade. And then C grade, you can generate HTML basically, and you get the non-enhanced HTML experience there. And you can see a full list, the full device list there at jQueryMobile.com/GBS. Can jQuery Mobile do native apps? And the answer to that question is yes. There's, with the Z10, you can wrap everything around WebWorks and compile it that way. You can build your jQuery mobile app, run it through WebWorks, and you can deploy it that way. Also, Cordova, and what probably everybody is used to right now is using Cordova PhoneGap to wrap for specific devices. And you can use that to deploy your app into the native app stores. So, getting started, we need to add jQuery Mobile to our page. First thing we want to do is just set the viewport. We want to set the width to the device width and an initial scale of 1, and that'll make it so that the width is properly calculated to the width of the device. Then we want to add the CSS for jQuery Mobile. In this instance, I'm using the default theme, and we'll get into themes in a little bit. And then we add our version of jQuery that's supported for jQuery Mobile. A lot of people slip up here and they think that jQuery core upgrades, that jQuery Mobile will automatically work as soon as jQuery Mobile or jQuery core is out. But you need to wait and see until jQuery Mobile provides a update that supports the latest features. So jQuery Mobile has a support for specific versions of jQuery, and you can get that at the website. So the latest version now supports the latest version of jQuery Core. And then you add the jQuery Mobile JS file at the end. So let's take a look at what a page looks like. So a page has a few features. There is a div that has a data role of page, and that defines your page. Then you can have 3 divs within that. One that defines your header, one that defines your content, and one that defines your footer. And they're all being described by this data role attribute. And you can see the code on the right there is being generated on the left. So a very simple example of a jQuery mobile page being shown on the right, on the left there. So the good thing is you can write single page apps that have multiple pages. In this example, all this code is written on one page, and we have multiple pages that are defined. So at the top here we have one page that has a link that says next page, and at the bottom we have a link that says previous page. And if we interact over here, we can go back and forth. And it's all one page. It's all loaded into the DOM. It's going good. You can also have separate files for your pages, and what happens is when you navigate to a page that's actually a separate file, it'll load that page into the DOM and insert it. If it's an A-grade browser, if it's a B-grade browser, it'll just navigate to it. Adding components. I'm not going to dive too deep into this, but I just want to point this out. So in traditional web development, you'll have a few links here. Yes, no, maybe. And that's how traditionally they'd be displayed on a website. And that's not very mobile friendly. So jQuery Mobile helps you make those easier to touch, easier to click on. And so with a few data role attributes, we're just describing the elements that we have on the page. We have in that wrapper div, we tell it that this group of buttons is a control group. And then we have three buttons within that. So we provide data role attributes that say these links should be buttons. So data role button. And what we get is, because we have this control group, we get a nice collection of buttons that are all together. And they are styled appropriately with rounded corners around all of them. So all that just comes out of just adding these simple data role attributes to your code, to your markup. If you want to learn more about what's available for the widgets and all that, you can go to the jQuery Mobile API site here, and you can navigate to all the widgets and get all the good details there. And that's at api.jQueryMobile.com. And this is the new design that we just launched a couple weeks ago with the 1.3 release. In addition to the 1.3 release, we also pushed out this new demo center. And this is really cool. You can go into an introduction to all the widgets that are available, or you can go directly to a widget, list view, for instance. And you can see, this is the output. Talk about certain ways to do list views, and then you can click on the view source here and get the actual source that generated that code, which is really cool. So that's basic examples. There's also this demo showcase to get into more extreme examples. So like we could do a grid list view is an example of something that we might want to do that's a little more advanced. So I can open up the demo, and here's a grid with images and all that. What the great part about it is that you can click on the view source and get all the HTML that was used to generate that, and all the CSS as well. And it's all using jQuery mobile components to show all the code that's needed for that demo. So that's there for you. So I want to talk about themes. So jQuery Mobile comes with a set of one default theme that has a few separate swatches. So theming uses the CSS3 properties to do a lot of the styling and the shadows and the rounded corners and that kind of stuff. So it's using the native standard approaches to things. Themes come with multiple color swatches. So jQuery UI usually just comes with like one color grouping that you select. With jQuery Mobile, you can have up to 26 different color groups to pick from, and it's really great because you can mix and match those colors into different, to use different ways. It also comes with a sprited icon set, so everything is in one file, and that makes performance a lot easier. And especially when mobile, you want to worry about the least amount of calls back to your server, the better, just for performance reasons. Like I said, the default theme comes with 5 swatches, and they're labeled A through E, and we'll get to that in a second. And just a quick note, if you do not specify a swatch, the framework will, by default, specify a couple different ways. So for header and footer, if there's nothing inherited and it needs to pick a swatch by itself, it'll pick the A swatch. And if you for any of the content area, it'll pick the C swatch. So what do these, I keep talking about swatches, so what do these look like? So for the default theme, there's the 5. The A swatch is sort of black. And just a note, to set your theme, you would use, again, the data attributes, data-theme, and then you would set your swatch letter. And it's just as easy as that, and everything underneath that would be inherited. But I just showed for redundancy here. So A is like a high-level visual priority theme, and this is the team actually thought about like what the swatches should be for the default theme, and a high-level visual priority. B is a secondary level. It's more blue, so that's all what that looks like. C is gray, more baseline. D is gray and white for an alternate secondary level. And C and D pretty much look at the same rules, slight changes. And E is for like accent, so you'd use that for like loading messages, error messages, types of things. And that's all out of the box. So you can build your own custom themes. There's a theme roller. You can build your theme, download a CSS file, drop it into a file. You can find that at jQueryMobile.com/theme-roller. And a quick demo here. So you come into theme roller. It pops up with three swatches to start messing around with. And there's like color picker up here. You can take a color and you can just drag it down and start playing with your colors. And as you drag it in, you can pick your background color. It shows what it just updated. And I can drop a color onto those buttons and see that. I can add more swatches by clicking the plus sign, and they start being just flowed right in. I can pick which version of jQuery Mobile I want the theme to build for. And what's really cool is I can import a theme. So say 1.3 just came out, I want my 1.2 theme to be upgraded. I can import it and then switch it over to 1.3 and upgrade it and then re-download it. And it's fairly simple. And this is just a cursory overview of Theme Roller. There's a lot more to it. If you want to, JQM Gallery is not a site that the project maintains, but is a site that we like to advocate for because it's a great example of what you can do with jQuery Mobile design. There's a lot of great sites that are using jQuery Mobile, and these are some great examples like Khan Academy and Disney World, IKEA. Plugin integration, just like every other project, plugins are key for us. Plenty of third-party plugins. You can find those are listed on our site, jQueryMobile.com/resources. Adding a plugin is very easy. So after the jQuery Mobile CSS, you would add your plugin CSS, and then after your jQuery and jQuery Mobile JavaScript declarations, you would add your plugin JavaScript declaration as well. The current state of the project. So where are we? What time? Okay. So we've had a number of milestone releases. Our first release, final release, was in November 16, 2011. And our latest release was on February 20th, 2013, and we've had about 6 major releases. Our popularity continues to grow. We're just, growing and growing. And you see there the 2 dips, those are the Christmas break dips. I don't know why. Can't figure it out. Something about Xbox games coming into the house. There's a thriving ecosystem with jQuery Mobile. A lot of third-party companies are doing great work around jQuery Mobile. PhoneGap there is listed at the top. But another one I'd like to mention is Codiqua, which is a sort of a rich text editor, WYSIWYG type of thing. And we list it, we've got it on our homepage right now, so you can play around with it. And it's a great way to get a site up and going quickly. You can just drag and drop controls onto a page, edit a few properties, and then you can download all that HTML and then really get your customizations going. But it's a great starter, and takes a lot of that work out of the way quickly. What I'd like to do is just go through what's new in the last couple of releases, starting at jQuery Mobile 1.2. This release came out. It came out with a new widget, pop-up widget. We also did a refactor of the list view, where we provided new auto dividers, as well as a collapsible list view mode, and initial release, an alpha release of a download builder. So adding a pop-up, pretty easy. There's a couple things you need. You need a link that will open the pop-up that has a data rel attribute of pop-up, and the href will point to the ID name for the div that you want it to show. And in that div, we have to describe it as a pop-up, so we'll give it a data-role of pop-up, and then any content will fit in here. So this is a bare minimum pop-up, and when you click on it, you just get like an overlay over top of everything. Like I said, you can add any kind of content into a pop-up. So say we want to throw a list view within a pop-up, like I have here. So data role list view, and it's just an unoverrolled list. You click on menu, now you've got a pop-up menu, and it's very just throwing the same content that you got in there. Nested pop-up. So now that we have this collapsible list view mode, we can have a menu that has submenus underneath it that's all nested, and we can use the collapsible set and the collapsible data role elements there to do that. We could add a form into a pop-up and have something like a sign-in form. That's really easy. And list view. So with list view, we can add the data attribute data-auto dividers equal to true. And what this will do is we'll sort it by the first letter of the list that you're providing, and just provide dividers through that. What's great here is it works in conjunction with the data filter. So I can type in here, Atom, and the filter still works even after a filter. Like I said, we added a download builder. So yeah, so this is great. I've suggested a couple people use this already.